any of this gear.
Alright, hey y'all, it's Pizza Hut. Here in the long dark. We are on a beginner Pilgrim playthrough that we started here in Mystery Lake. How are we doing? Yeah, we're doing alright. Grab a couple. As you can see, we got a moose.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
That's good enough. Yeah, she's a little slower. Very, very good. One of the main points I really wanted to cover in a beginner's guide. We got back from Milton. Had a good run up there. Got a lot of coffee. Got the expedition coat and plenty of good clothing and ammo. Finally got a rifle. Got a hammer. I think I got a hacksaw, but I left it. A little bit of a bummer, but that's alright. There should still be enough scrap to forge in Forlorn Muskeg, which is on my list too. Anyway, I don't have too much time. I got like half an hour-ish. But I did want to advance this just a bit. Just a little bit. Get some stuff done. But yeah, definitely a good run from Milton to here. No issues. Good weather. We are just jacked on our weather bonuses here. Warmth is 52, windproof is 23. We still have 76 on the sprint. You got about every wonderful thing that you can have in here. Is there still stuff I want? Yes. Obviously, I want a moose hide bag. That's what we killed the moose for. I'd like a second head wrap. I like to walk around with two if you can. And that way you can switch them out when they start to get really wet or frozen. And that's less about warmth. For some wacky reason, you can see how this is wet from the snow that was coming down. This will protect your moose hide bag. It's like having a second hat on, I don't know. Or a second layer. But that way, even in the worst of circumstances, you can keep that moose hide bag protected for as long as possible. Because you want it to last. Where's the... Definitely want to hit the feather farms on the way back. There's another one down here. Let's go have a quick look. Yeah, there's our moose sign. That's how we knew we had a moose here. Or that can appear here. But I got back from Milton and I just had a feeling, man. I was like, yeah. I bet there's a moose down there. Well, it's just a lot of times when you come from one map. There's the fire I had from a moose. Killed it by the dead guy, conveniently. Must probably put the feathers while I was down here. Worth the look. We've gotten just like ridiculous amount of top tier clothing throughout this playthrough. I think it's kind of focused for this loot table, so potentially we could find more. I mean, I've had runs where I've had, you know, 2 of everything: 2 expedition coats, 2 urban parkas, 2 snow pants, you know, all the goodies, multiple mucklucks. it's weird what the different loot tables kind of focus on. I haven't found a ton of tools or sewing kits, things like that. But the clothing has been outrageous, so. The last episode, or two, I don't remember, discussed, you know, the differences between synthetics and skins. I'm really thinking, like, Pilgrim through Stalker, because the really good synthetics aren't available in interloper mode. That's kind of what, you know, you're hoping. There's your holy grails. Lightweight, warm, and windproof. I mean, with the 52-degree warmth bonus and 25 windproof, I mean, I'd pretty much go anywhere, any day. I don't think you're ever really 100% out of the woods in this game, but right now, in this mode, I think we're alright. And one of the things I failed to discuss is that in higher modes, the temperature is slowly going down permanently over time. I don't know what the recipe is, so I'm going to make something up completely. Okay, this is not accurate, probably, unless I luck out. I'm just making this up, but I'm using it as an example. But I want to be clear, this is made up. So let's say over time, in Pilgrim mode, we'll say, because it scales up on a harder mode, how quickly it happens. But let's say we move one up to Voyager. I believe that's it's on the low mode. Like right now, like I said, the world doesn't get any colder. It is whatever it is on that day. But let's say we're here in Mystery, and today we're at negative 10 degrees with a negative 10 wind chill, right? Let's say in 3 months, 4 months, in maybe, I don't know, Pilgrim mode, it'll be permanently 20 degrees colder. So today would be 29, or negative 29. That's one of those things, if you like, you're like me, and you really enjoy the customization of this game, then that's one of those scales you can kind of play with. On different playthroughs. You know, you can turn up the severity, you can turn up the quickness. Same thing with the weather too. I mean, you just make it colder. We're gonna make arrowheads and arrows soon, so the more. Did I never pick up that pry bar? Let's get it. Might as well get this guy's feathers. Oh. Wolfie boy up there. Now, normally with 3 scent markers, there wouldn't even be a question of you coming to eat us, but we're good. I will say this, and I certainly encourage that you play a lot of Pilgrim mode to learn your maps, or Voyager, or whatever you feel, you know, comfortable with. But personally, I want to explore and learn the maps before I make things harder. So at least have an idea, or visit, watch a video and find, or grab the map and find, you know, some of the main areas you might want to be checking out. This will also teach you. And remember, so in custom mode, you can basically set it up for a complete Voyager, Stalker, even Interloper playthrough, and turn the animals on passive. So you'll get the amount of animals, the frequency of spawns. It just won't bother you. And you can learn also where these animals spawn in. Which is good, because when you're traveling, you also want to learn routes that might get you around them to avoid them at all, so you don't have to use a match to light a torch or use one of your flares. You just go around them. And also you'll learn there are areas where predators don't spawn. Well, at least, you know, particularly wolves, you know. So I know there can be a bear on the back part of this lake, and a bear up at Trapper's Cabin, and rarely but occasionally a bear down by the dam. Very rare. But at least it has been for me. Usually I see it at Trappers, or like I said, out here on the ice. And I know when I first get to Muskeg, there can be a bear like right there, or up by the derailment. I know where the wolves are. So once you start to learn where these animals spawn in, where you're most likely to run into them, and they're not always there, because the maps are different, you know. Sometimes the bear is out, sometimes the moose is out, sometimes there's a bunch of deer in this little spot, sometimes they're not there, they're somewhere else on the map. So did I ever check in? Yeah. So just because you find deer out on the ice here in the back right corner, which is one of the places you can find deer, or over on this left side back in this little corner, they're not always going to be there. And sometimes they might be in this clearing that's across the way from us back in this little area. So where they might be out on the ice, they might not be over here. Where they might be over there, they might, you know what I'm saying? So the wolves and bears aren't always going to be, or the moose, always where you spot them or where the signs are for the moose. It's just good to know where they're at. And that's one of the things you can do by learning the map. Grab some moose steaks. I mean, there's just a ton of calories in these. And anything to get our cooking score going. We're getting close to 5. Real close. That'll be a big boon. Keep working on fire starting. That's another thing I want to work on. And a little mending. That's why I brought these clothes back with me. But with that moose side, man, we're definitely heading towards the getting to where I need to be to finish up this series. I have more clothing, it's just in a different drawer. I just didn't feel like going up there right now. Got my saplings going. I'm in good shape there. I mean, getting a okay stack of feathers. What did I pick up? Something weird, right? Oh, I left my fry bar. I wonder where I left it. Pizza. Oh, okay. Guess what has a decent amount of weight? Oh, actually, I dropped those outside. Cured? Yep. So, tons of birch now. We can definitely get a ton of air shafts. I'm really kicking myself for not bringing the hacksaw back with me, but it'll be alright. And nice. Get her stick back. Look at that, 71 pounds. Good. Cool, cool, cool. So, got the moose down, got the moose side down. I think I'm gonna... Man, what should I do? How much time do I have? 10 minutes? It's a nice day. Let's,
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
So, I think what I'm going to do is head on out to Muskeg. And I'm going to do some foraging. I won't have a ton, but I don't need to make an improvised knife or hatchet. So I can just use whatever scrap metal that I have and find along the way to forge arrows with. I left some coal along the tracks here I want to pick up. And we'll grab a few along the way, but when we get to, it's called, I think, Spencer's Homestead or wherever the forge is, that's where we'll do our main gathering of sticks. And as I mentioned before, you want to get like, 70 to like 100. Come here, get. Yeah, slow down a little bit. But I grabbed a coffee. Anyway, so you can get your fire up with sticks up to like 144 degrees. You need 270 to forge. I think if you get it up to 144 degrees, you only need 4, possibly 5 pieces of coal to get to your desired temperature. So that can help you save on coal. Now, I don't have enough time to actually get to Spencer's homestead, but I am going to be able to get to a place I like to build a base at. It's a derailment, kind of like what you see in front of us. But there's some red train cars. You can get inside. There's a fire barrel. Sometimes pretty good loot. You want to be careful if you don't have the clothing to do it. But you can certainly stay there. Again, if you got enough firewood, you can keep the fire barrel going. Get it, just start a fire in pilgrim mode and you're going to be fine. Yes, I know. So we gathered up the rose hips. I mentioned before you can have 2 green canisters and a first aid kit. But when you go through here, if you look to your left, sometimes there's firewood. Grab it. No, I'm not going to drag this all the way out to Spencer's, the firewood, but I can start it. Dropping a little bit down at my base. You want to have a nice chunk of firewood when you get out there to dispensers too, because you want to keep your fire going. You could be there making tools. A hatchet I think takes like 5 hours, and I want to say a knife takes like 3.5 hours. Each arrowhead, each scrap metal makes 2 arrowheads. So every time you forge, you get 2 arrowheads, but it takes an hour. And it's non-negotiable. It's not like you can do half an hour and stop. And you might be able to see it up ahead. There's the red train car. The weather is absolutely stunning. So more than likely, when I get back from doing what I need to do, I'll probably just head straight on out to the farmstead. Now Muskeg is a tricky place. This is a place I've been to a many amount of times. I know the map fairly well. It's just a big circle, really. It's just you're in a bowl. But I've died here on multiple occasions. Spent and wasted so much time, food, effort, energy being lost here. It is not... I think the bear's up there. It is not necessarily the best weather place. Maybe it's a stump. I think... And again, it's going to scale up for you on the difficulty levels, but I think it's not one of the colder places. It's not... Yeah, he's up there. It's not that it's, you know... It can't kill you with cold. It's just fog and... No, it's a stump. Fog and blizzard. I got bears on the brain. That'll be real mean to you here. I get it. Killing me. Oh, I got an alarm set too. Cancel. And so our fog is starting to squeeze us in here. I can see it coming in the background. So that's one of the things you want to watch out for. And again, even though I'm fairly confident on this map, if it's really thick fog, I'll just hang up here by the train car. The trick is it could be a while. It looks like we're getting a pretty good fog too, so. Although there's somehow wind blowing too. Oh. I feel like the villagers really know how fog works. There's a lot of times on these... I mean, if it's a really actual windy day, you won't have fog, but... You know, I'm going to search around this train crash. I want to look for scrap metal. There's usually, you know, 2 to 5 pieces laying around. That'll give me 10. So 20 arrowheads. There's a couple spots on the way to pick up some too. Well, this is one of those mega, or at least possible, you know, there's a chance for really good loot to spawn here. So Pilgrim, you're going to see, just look at all this. We got coal, we got books, we got ammo everywhere, clothing.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Bedroll. Firewood there. So just a ton of good stuff in here. It's funny because I think this might be the most things I've ever found in this
That'll be useful.
trailer. Yeah, that's my prescriptions ready. Thank you. You're so helpful. Yeah, we'll grab that. Alright. So you can base out here. I usually do. I like to have a base here. Just makes things a little easier going back and forth when you're forging. Yeah, we'll keep the sticks. I'll grab the reclaimed wood. Where are you at?
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
86. Not too bad. Not as good as mine. Alright, mission accomplished. Like I said, I just wanted to make a quick one because I had a little bit of time, but I got to get ready to go. I'll be back later and I'll pick this up because I'm going to leave it paused because I don't, unless I put a bedroll down and sleep for an hour. Don't have a save. But I want to get to the forge here in Forlorn Muskeg and get some forging going on. There's also a chance for some good loot. You get a chance at a coat. Possibly. Can be a pretty good one. More scrap metal, more coal, and there's a safe. So it's always a chance for good loot and safes. So we'll see what up. Alright, if you have any catches, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And if you see us at a later time or date, thanks for watching. Hope you guys are having a great day. Y'all be good to each other.